Okay, everyone, we are back. Rocking, rolling, smacking, whatever, and that's what we're at. Okay, chapter 3 review. This is one of my favorite chapters because I absolutely like this group of people. Basically, this chapter is dealing with our managers, Florida Real Estate Commissioners. We are starting this chapter with the summary of important points. Go on to page 55 in chapter 3. Make sure, and we've kind of talked a little bit about this guy, DBPR is under the executive branch of the governor, and that would be chapter 455 Florida Stats. Remember, we stated that in chapter 2. So that's where the DBPR, they are kind of housed at in the stat world, is under 455. It also tells you, line 28, the chief administrator of the DBPR is the secretary of the DBPR, who is appointed by who? They're appointed by the governor, subject to confirmation by the state senate. Make sure you're clear on that. Line 30, it talks about our 7 commissioners that we have and their makeup. Make sure you're clear on it. We have 7 of them. 5 professional members, 2 consumers. Those 2 consumers, they do not have real estate license. 4 of them must have held active broker license the year preceding. The 5th professional must have license as an active broker or sales associate for the 2 preceding years appointed. So we have 7, 2 are non-licensed, 4 are mandatory brokers, and the other can be an associate, a sales associate, or an active broker. Okay. The next bullet, line 35, members of the commissioners, who are they appointed by? Governor, subject to the Senate confirmation, and are not employees of the DBPR. Where can you find the DBPR at? Remember, it's in Florida Stats 455, okay? All right, line 37, the commissioner's powers are primarily quasi-judicial, quasi-legislative. So basically what they're talking about there, guys, they have certain powers and authorities, and I'm flipping like real quick back over to it. Their main powers and duties, first of all, is executive. Executive is when they are regulating or enforcing the law. Okay, so if you see regulating or enforcing, they are using executive power. When they are using quasi-legislative, and these are when they have to make decisions, or they're in the middle of processing a certain complaint or something, that's what they're using. Quasi-legislative. These responsibilities include the powers to enact and to revise administrative rules and regulation, and to interpret questions regarding to the practice of real estate. So when they have these meetings and they are going over information that requires them to enact, to revise, or even to interpret questions, they are using quasi-legislative. And quasi-judicial, which is their third power, gives them the power to grant or deny licensing application, to determine license law violations and administrative. Okay, so quasi-judicial, when you see when they are granting or denying licensing, they are using quasi-judicial power. Those are their 3: executive, quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial. Okay. Over on page 56, bullet line 3, there are 2 types of inactive status. This is concerning your real estate license. Your real estate license may be known as volunteer active or involunteer. Volunteer inactive, it could be volunteer inactive, it's just what the word says. You volunteer said, I don't want to work in real estate right now anymore. I don't know why you would want to do that, especially right now in our economy when we're doing like sell out as Boston in the state of Florida. Okay? Anyhow, or you can have one of those involuntary things. Involuntary, couple of things. It could be that you didn't do your 14-hour, or it says a business may voluntary inactive status. Involuntary inactive status occur when the licensees failed to renew an active or voluntary inactive license before the expiration date. Remember, in a review I told you which one would go up under an involuntary state? Would it be the post, or would it be the 14-hour continuing education? The 14-hour continuing education. What happens if you don't do the post? I should hear everyone saying, your license will become null and void if you don't do it by your time frame. Exactly right. You are so smart, Joe. Okay? All right. Next one. Null and void. Line 8. Null and void license no longer exists. Who would get a null and void license? You see how you're seeing chapter 3 is repeating some things that was right in line with chapter 2? You're doing another repeat. Post. Post will become null and void. What does null and void mean? Does that mean I can still do real estate part-time? No. Where in the world did you get something like that from? You can't do real estate in the state of Florida no time if that license is null and void. Okay? All right. Keep going. You guys are so good. You're so good. Line 11. When the FREC revokes a real estate license, the licensees become null and void again. Don't do it. License that is voluntarily relinquished by the licensee is canceled by FREC without the involvement of disciplinary action. So if that happens, there's no disciplinary action to it. The next bullet, line 15. If a broker's license is suspended or revoked, the licensee of the sales associate and broker associates registered under that broker are placed in an involuntary active, not suspended as well. So if broker Bob license is suspended, that doesn't mean sales associate Terry's license gets suspended too. No, 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 no. She just goes on an involuntary inactive status until we get to chapter 5. No. In chapter 5, it will tell you a little bit more about some things concerning that. But if the broker license becomes involuntary inactive, then what happened? The agents underneath them, their license will become inactive. So if the broker license becomes suspended or revoked, the agents underneath them, their license will become involuntary inactive. Sometimes I talk too fast, and so like if I twist a word around, you need to just tap your screen. There's something on your screen that will do a rewind review and say, rewind her, rewind her. You know I'm just kidding, okay? But that's a good thing to think about to have done. Anyhow, where were we? We are on line 19. A licensee in good standing who is a member of the U.S. Armed Forces is exempt from license renewal provision during active duty and for 6 months after discharge from the active duty. You got our military guys. We absolutely appreciate so much what our military families do for us. But in the event that their license, their renewal comes up and they're on active duty, those guys, they get exempt up until 6 months after they are off of active duty. So the state gives them time, even when they get off of active duty, to kind of go over things so that they can get all that taken care of. Okay? Hey, sweet state. We do. We have a great state that we live in. Multiple license, line 24. You need to know this, and it's important. Multiple license is for brokers only. It did not say multiple license were for sales associate, broker associate. It said for brokers. Here's the deal. If a broker needs to get another license because they may be working for another entity, they can get another license. It's a totally different license number. That's what you call multiple license. Here's the deal, guys. It is for brokers only. So if sales associate Jerry works for Timbuktu and he decides he wants to get a second license to work for Timbuktu, will that happen? Not in the state of Florida, it ain't gonna happen. He's a sales associate, not a broker, okay? So that's what you're looking at for there. So remember, multiple license for brokers, brokers only. The next one, and the last one, is a group license. See, state of Florida doesn't leave anybody out. They like their realtors. So they have this little special thing called a multiple license for a broker, and they have this little special thing called a group license for a sales associate or a broker associate. It says a group license is issued to a sales associate or a broker associate employed by an owner developer, real estate developer, who owns property in the name of various entity. A group license entitled the licensee to work for the separate sales project owned by the owner developer. That group license is for a sales associate or broker associate to work for the same owner developer, just at a different location for that owner developer. Let's just say owner developer, I want a burger, okay? And you work for owner developer, I want a burger in Tampa. And owner developer, I want a burger is going to open up a new community in Delray. So now you want to move from Tampa to Delray with the same owner developer. I want a burger. Now, I want a burger is not telling you to go out and get a burger, okay? That's the name of the owner developer, but I think you get it. So the group license is not for the sales associate to work for multiple entities. It's for them to work for the same owner developer, just that a different project for that owner developer, okay? Here again, one of my favorite chapters in the book. If you have any questions, that's your chapter 3. Get with me, let me know, and let's see how we can take it from there. We'll be around the campfire shortly again to do some more chapters. We need a break.